Personally, I'm tired of watching influencers flaunting their wealth and selling you BS courses on how you can get rich in 3 months, but they don't actually offer you any actual advice. Today I'm here to tell you the truth about getting rich and how you can actually do it no matter what lifestyle you live today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're interested in learning about career, finances, and travel, look no further, I'm your guy. Make sure to subscribe to get notified on upcoming videos and drop a like as well. Alright, let's get to it. First, let's be clear on what we mean by rich. I see it two ways. One is high net worth, meaning your assets minus your liabilities. The other is high cash flow, meaning how much extra money you have coming in each month. Net worth is what's usually sold to you with the idea of investing in 401ks, IRAs, mutual funds, and using compound interest to get rich over 40 years. That's good and all, and I'll talk about this type of investing in a different video, but this video is focused on getting rich in a much shorter time frame. Cash flow is simple. It is your income, or money coming in, minus your expenses. That's purchases of two types. Needs like rent and bills, and wants like a new jacket or a nice dinner. Cash flow determines not only what you can buy, but the freedom and flexibility of your lifestyle. Imagine your current life and then think about it if we increase our income an extra $10,000 each month. Obviously that would make a huge difference. That's what we're chasing. On the other hand, think about if your current income stays the same, but you had much higher expenses. Your cash flow would be extremely low or negative, and eventually you'd end up broke. We want to avoid this. So we must learn some realistic ways to affect our cash flow. Let's start off with income. For most people, their first and primary source of income will be actively earned. That's where an employer trades you money for your time. Naturally, this trade is limited. You have to sleep, you have to eat, you have things you want to do with your life. You can't work 24/7. In order to maximize your benefit from this trade, you should demand the highest hourly rate for your time that you can. That comes from being trained in high-paying skills. Anyone can flip a burger at McDonald's. That's why those jobs only pay minimum wage. Engineering, sales, marketing, healthcare, these are all jobs that pay 6 figures or more per year. Of course, the proven path is to get a degree in these fields and work for a big name company, but even this isn't necessary. Tons of people have learned these skills online via courses or YouTube and built a networks of clients that pay them a similar wage. If you're already in school, I highly recommend choosing one of these fields as your major, even if your true passion is history, art, or music. Unless you're in the 1%, you're not going to find a high-paying job in those areas, and paying thousands of dollars for a college degree just isn't necessary. Now, I'm not telling you to dump your passions in the trash. I encourage you to continue to pursue them on the side. Just make sure that your future is secure with something that's more probable, especially if you're paying money for a college degree. If you're already employed, you may need to be a little bit more creative with increasing your income. This can be by requesting a raise, leveraging a competing offer, switching companies, increasing your hours, or even temporarily decreasing them so that you can return to school or use that extra time to study a high-paying skill. At the end of the day, income is just one part of the equation. Even if you can't increase yours significantly, you can still increase your cash flow by lowering your expenses. Remember that your expenses have an inverse relationship with your cash flow. The lower they are, the higher cash flow, and the faster you can get rich. I already know that a lot of you are turned off to this idea, thinking that your lifestyle has to completely change, and from now on you can only eat ramen and drink water. Let me explain myself. I'm not telling you to penny pinch and that you can't buy the things that you enjoy. I'll put it to you this way. You've probably heard advice about saving before, like, don't buy that Starbucks coffee every day. My philosophy is to rephrase that to be, think about why you buy that Starbucks coffee every day. You may really enjoy a particular coffee from Starbucks. You may like the staff you see there every day or the environment. Whatever the case is, if it's something that increases your happiness, your productivity, or just overall brings value to your life, by all means, keep to it. But a lot of people purchase trends, the latest thing they saw on social media or an Amazon fire sale, or they were in the store and they saw it and they wanted it, but they didn't really need it and they never actually ended up using it. People also buy things seeking validation, such as overpriced clothing or cars, or the latest iPhone 100 Ultra Extreme Pro Max, just to make calls and check their emails. Other people are buying artificial happiness, drugs, alcohol, Netflix to nullify their lives until the next 9-to-5 cycle begins. Now, you may be the person where that 30 minutes of Netflix a day actually helps you to relax and prepare for the next day, and then it's not a problem. But for others, that could turn into a 4-hour binge watching session where they're also eating a ton of junk food and avoiding their work. My point is, you need to think deeply and realistically about whether this purchase helps you or hurts you. And that goes for everything. This same issue happens with things in the needs category as well. Typically, these things are set in stone: rent, utility bills, insurance, things you have to pay. But we sometimes have an odd way of justifying things that are unnecessary. Sure, you may need a car to get to and from the office, but do you really need an $80,000 Hellcat SRT? Or would you have done just fine in a $30,000 Honda Civic? If you want to get rich, you have to be realistic with what things you actually need in your life. Now, I know most of you aren't actually buying $80,000 cars, and still you don't have that much money left over at the end of the month. You may actually have an income issue and will need to use the advice from before and the advice I'm about to tell you to fix it. But for many of you, it's an expense issue. It may not be an $80,000 car. It could be a random Amazon purchase, eating out when you have food at home, or an overpriced, underfilled cocktail at the bar. All those things add up. Whenever you make a purchase, I want you to take a closer look at what you're buying and think, is this thing making me richer or is it making me poorer? What I've already told you is going to help you out a ton if you actually put it into practice. It'll help you pay off your debt, help simplify your life, and probably give you a little extra spending money. It won't get you rich though. Let's go back to the cash flow equation. If we do everything, we maximize our income from our job, we're truthful to ourselves about our needs, and we minimize our wants, we may have an extra couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand coming in each month. That's great, but that's not rich. If you truly want to get rich, you need to explode your income so high that your expenses don't even take a bite out of it. And then most of that money will be extra for you to do as you please. That may sound ridiculous or impossible to you, but I advise you to put those thoughts to the side, because if you don't believe it, you'll never achieve it. Anywhere between 25% and 90% of millionaires are self-made, depending on who you ask. That means they started off in the exact same position that you're in right now. And the average person from that group has 3 different income streams. That can be you. You already have 1 stream from your job, you just need 2 more. This is that it factor that separates the rich from the poor. Investing in the stock market is an income stream for sure, but with a couple $100s that you currently have in cash flow, it's a poor one. You need money to make money. If you have that extra $10,000 a month in cash flow, then that's a different story. Now, if you're wondering, oh, where can I get these extra income streams from? The sad thing is that I can't tell you. I mean, I could, but 1, you won't do them, and 2, you already know them. I guarantee that anyone watching this video right now has already read a top passive income ideas article before, but didn't commit to a single one. The truth about getting rich is that it's simple. Maximize your income in the cash flow equation and use that extra income to invest in other income streams. It's simple, but it's not easy, and most people just don't want to do the work. But for those that do want to put in the work and don't want the common blueprint BS that they've already seen, I have 2 suggestions for you to actually coming up with a plan to generate additional income. The first is to look for the thing that sits on the border of what you're good at and what you enjoy doing. You already have something of value to offer to the world. You can create income by sharing that value. That may be teaching, entertaining, creating a platform or community for others, or anything else. It's 2023. Social media and digital marketing is universally accessible. It has never been easier than before to start offering your value to the world today and from the comfort of your own home. Another thing that you can do is look for and fix problems in the world. There's a ton of issues in our society today, and creative people that can solve these issues are compensated well. Once upon a time, you actually had to drive to a restaurant to get food. Then someone made Uber Eats. If you want to watch an old movie, you had to go buy the DVD. Now you can just turn on Netflix. Obviously, your ideas don't have to be this big. In fact, I encourage you to look for smaller issues in the specific communities that you're a part of. Think of the issues that you face in your daily life, and if there's already solutions for those issues. If there aren't, create them. If they already exist, improve them. Even if you're not an inventor, developer, or business person, as long as you have an idea and a vision, you can find people entrenched in those areas and together bring your ideas to reality. At the end of the day, your richness is determined by your cash flow equation, and you now have the knowledge and power to affect all 3 variables of your equation. If you can just improve one of them, I promise you'll see improvements in your life. And if you made it this far, shout out to you. I hope this video was helpful. I'm not an expert in this field. This is just my experiences and my research. I'm a lifelong learner on this subject. So in the comments, I want to hear from you. What's the best piece of financial advice that you've found to be useful in your life? Make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.